Chemistry Room Fragrances is the perfect addition when elevating the vibe of any space. Whether if it's your home, car, or office, and something needs a quick refresh, our room fragrances provide that beautiful burst of fragrance with just one quick mist. Shop now at www.chemistryroomfragrances.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram at Chemistry Room Fragrances. Chemistry Room Fragrances. Smells so good.
Hey, Derin, what's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? How are you?
I'm cool. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to have you here. We've been planning this for a minute, schedules and things or whatever. But you are finally here. You're back. You were with me in season 1 before all of the things, and here you are in season 11.
Yeah.
I absolutely just love it. I'm super excited and so glad that you're here. And those that don't know, I met Derin through Mark and Jalen back in the Power 5 days, and we just stayed connected or whatever. And he's just such a nice guy. Like, you meet some people, you meet them online, but then you meet them in real life, and they're nothing like who they really are.
Yeah.
We kind of stuck up and snobby, but y'all, Derin is just such a really, really nice guy. And
So is Camille. Camille is what you see is what you get. So I love her for that.
oh, thank you. It was so funny because when we ran into each other, because we all pretty much stayed in the same location for Jalen's party back in May. What's up, Jay? And to meet him in person, so I'm short. I'm only like 5'4". He's like a whole foot taller than me. So I was like, hey, Darren. So it's all good. So we're going to just get off of all that. But what's been going on, Darren? We haven't chatted in a minute, like within the digital space. We talk offline, but what's been up with you? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, what can I say? Well, I have a new office space. I'm in my very first office space, so I'm grateful for that. Um, and just really taking it one day at a time. I have some different things that I'm working on and wanting to launch possibly a webinar in the next couple of weeks. Today, I just dropped a flyer before I got on here. I'm having a conversation with a friend of mine in Houston called Entrepreneurship versus Kidney Disease. So that's going to be tomorrow night at 7:30. So we're working on a few things.
Absolutely love it. So we're going to kick off the show. You know, we got to be polite. So what's up, everybody? What's up? It's your girl, Camille Essick. I'm host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. If you did not catch the intro because you were late, shame on you. But Derin Lindsey is here all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. Baby, I can't say it the way they do, but...
Baby.
So be sure to tune in tonight. Tag a friend, share this, comment, like, post, get in here. As you know, Good Black Men still exist. The sale is going on right now. If you subscribe, first-time subscribers, save 15% at the checkout. Just use that coupon code GBM15 and follow me on Instagram at camille.essick. All the information is there. Great things are coming up. Heart and Soul 2022 is coming back in October. So if you go to thespeakerpodcast.com and subscribe, you'll get the tea first as far as the panelists, the dates, all the good stuff before everyone else. So with that being said, I'm here with Derin Lindsey. We're going to have a great conversation. What's up, Jana? Thank you for tuning in. So Derin, you mentioned kidney disease, and I want to get into this conversation because, as you know, and I know, when you get into brand content creation as an entrepreneur, life does not stop. Life doesn't care about you wanting to go viral or make your first 10K or whatever that may be. The brand doesn't care. The life doesn't care about your hopes, and So how do you navigate the space as far as overcoming life's obstacles while still being a content creator?
Yeah, it's all about, Camille, turning your lemons into lemonade, right? If all things work together for my good, it's my responsibility to make sure, whether it's good or bad, that it works for my good. So turning anything, be it a good thing to, or a bad thing to a good thing, is my responsibility to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did when I got diagnosed. I found myself ill back in July of last year. It's about to be a year now. And in August, September, I finally went to the hospital and discovered that I had hypertension that had caused kidney failure. And for the first few days, I kind of sat around and pouted about it, was in denial. And then after about day 10 or 11, I came up with this hashtag called I Need Black Men to Go to the Doctor. It was I Need Black Men to Go to the Hospital at first, but that didn't really make sense. So I changed it to I Need Black Men to Go to the Doctor. And I said, I'm going to come up with this color palette. I think I went with like a mint green. And yeah, I just went with it. I started educating myself on this disease, this illness, and figured if I didn't know this information, there were probably other men who didn't know this information. And yeah, so I challenge anybody who's going through anything in life to find the good in it. And you can utilize that as content, but also that content is you telling your truth, your story, and essentially helping bless someone else.
Yeah, I think particularly within our community, Derin, when we look at kidney disease, kidney failure, diabetes, all of the things that we hear in the news and social media that's impacting our community, not going to the doctor when we're supposed to. We only go after, we feel like something's wrong, not doing the annual checkups and things like that. And then a lot of Black men are very silent about their health status. So can you kind of touch on, as we get into this conversation, as far as how, and we think, and we're young, we're not old. So we figure, that's somebody for 50, 60 or whatever. But just how important that is to do the regular exams, the regular checkups.
Yeah, absolutely. I really wanted to start the hashtag, start creating this content because I was 30 years old when I was diagnosed with kidney failure. I had literally, Camille, had a best friend from college. We went to high school together. He found out he had kidney failure. I'm not sure when, but he passed away Memorial Day last year. And we
Mhm.
funeralized him back in July of last year. And 3 months later, I was diagnosed with kidney disease. And I was like, what the hell is it with black men at 30 getting kidney disease? Interesting enough, I had a friend, a client last week told me he went to a funeral last Saturday for a guy who found out in July that he had kidney disease and he passed away 3 weeks later. So it's really important that black men go to the doctor. My cousin, he'll be 36 next month.
Mhm.
He called me earlier this week and told me that he finally got a primary care. And I know there may be different reasons why we don't go to the doctor, but it's so important that we go. And the thing is, you don't know if you don't go. You
Right.
don't know you have kidney failure until you're in the end stages. I have stage 5. I'm at the end stage of kidney disease. If I did not go to the hospital, I would literally be dead. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. I would literally be dead, like the other two gentlemen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's important. You can look fine, you can look healthy. A lot of people look at me now and it's like, oh, it don't look like anything's wrong with you. It doesn't have a look. Illness doesn't have a look. It's all about what that blood work comes back as. You know what I'm saying? You can literally have migraines and look completely fine. You can have cancer and look completely fine, but you don't know if you don't go. You need to go to the doctor. You have to get that blood work to make sure that everything is aligned in your body. I'm 31 years old now, and you can be sick as early as 22, as 25. So it's important to go.
Yeah. So in that space, you mentioned being down. What did you do to kind of shift um, your mental health, mental space? Because some people get in those spaces, and I love talking about mental health. I love talking about wellness and mental health with Black men, particularly. That's why good Black men still exist. We put that out there in the atmosphere. So, well, okay. So go back to, you said you were down. What was that space like? And then the second part of that question is, what happened for you to shift out of that rut?
Yeah. So I was in the hospital, Camille. Jesus Christ. Didn't have my laptop. I was so used to having my laptop and being able to do work, and I had my iPhone, and I was playing checkers with people and just different things like that. But eternally, I had to get a blood transfusion. I was vomiting. So much was going on. I
Mm.
was watching gospel on YouTube and praise breaks, just anything to kind of keep me elevated. And after a while, I was like, obviously this is what it is. I'm not in here for the hell of it. Like, something is clearly wrong with me. I need to figure out how I can become better. The doctors will come in and give me updates, and every day it was a bad update. I'm like, there's no reason, there's no way I've been walking around this damn sick. Like, there's
Right.
no way that this is. And so after a while, I was like, Mom, can you bring me my laptop? I need to make money. I got to pay my bills. At this point, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I have no health insurance, none of that. I lost my job June 2019, went through the pandemic, all of that. So at this point, I'm just like, I am in a shitty place right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, not only am I sick, I don't even have health insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that was probably one of the reasons why I didn't go to the doctor. That's probably one of the reasons why a lot of Black men don't go. But there are definitely resources that are out there. Based on my diagnosis, I was able to get qualified for Medicare or Medicaid, one of them. If you've worked for 10 years and you pay taxes for 10 years, you qualify for Medicaid. So I was able to get insurance while at the hospital. But prior to it, I didn't have health insurance. I hadn't had health insurance since I had a 9 to 5. But did I answer your question or did I shift gears?
No, you did. But the second part was shifting out of that. You said you were online playing
Yeah,
checkers with people and things like that. Because
yeah,
mental health, and even being out of the hospital and back of your mind, hey, my body may not cooperate with me today. Every day it's like you're having your own pep rally, not just
yeah,
getting out of the house, to brand and create, but just to get up out of the bed. So
Hmm.
what are you doing in those spaces on a regular basis?
Yeah, so it was during technically COVID time, so they wouldn't let me out of the hospital room. So I literally, after 3 weeks of being in the bed, it was hard to walk. I was like, man, I ain't walked in 3 weeks. Like I'm literally 30 years old. I don't know how to walk. Like, but it was just an interesting space. But I had my mom bring me my laptop, and once I got my laptop, I was able to make a logo and start making content and start taking pictures of myself and kind of blogging about the journey. And that gave me strength to
Mhm.
share that story, because what we don't share with people, they don't know.
Yeah.
And so some of my, and it's not meant for everybody, but some of my,
Katrina and the pandemic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so one of my issues is with some celebrities is that I feel like they keep that private, and not everybody needs to live a public life. People don't need to know everything about you, but things that can help other people, I wish that celebs would kind of share and shed light on things of that nature. But yeah, so I just thought it was important for me to kind of tell that story because I felt like there were probably other men who could be probably walking around ill and not even know it.
Wow. So shifting gears just a bit, and thank you for sharing that. And what's so crazy is I didn't even know about it until we met in Dallas. And then I was like, dang, like I didn't know you felt that way. And those that know me, I'm good for reaching out. And it was like
Hmm.
every time we would connect online, you were just always very upbeat, positive attitude. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I wish he had told me, because
Yeah.
you never know what battles people are fighting behind the scenes, but yet you still are showing up every day, and it says a lot. You see
Hmm.
people online on social media in the bed with the bracelet and the picture of holding hands and but you've seen these pictures.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Man. And it's like, they got the tubes and their nose, all of this, but you didn't do that. So
Yeah.
like, so what prompted you to just put that to the back burner and just continue to show up every day?
Yeah, well, I'm not really a huge fan of a pity party. I didn't want anybody feeling sorry for me.
Yeah.
It was more so letting people know about what I had. And I was researching facts, Black men health facts, and
Yeah.
foods to eat with hypertension. So it was more so about educating people about how to get well than it was look at me in the hospital bed, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, I totally
And I
understand.
like to be seen as somebody that's strong. So me taking pictures in the hospital just wasn't
That's not it.
wasn't what I was going for. Yeah,
That's not what we're giving, okay.
yeah, yeah.
So, okay, when we first connected, I was still stationed in California. You were doing these amazing events for Black men in Charlotte, in New Orleans. So, are you
Uh-huh.
still doing those? What's going on with that? Because I was loving seeing these pictures of these beautiful Black men showing up well dressed all over the NOLA. Like, what was
Yeah. So yeah, a few years ago, I did an event called the Celebration of Noble Black Men, highlighting highlighting Black men in New Orleans. Oh, it's about to make me really emotional. Camille, 3 years ago when I came up with that concept, it was because I felt like media only portrayed men as criminals, or social media sexualized Black men. They were either naked or buff with dreads, and they were looked at as sex objects. And I wanted to showcase uh, Black men that were go-getters and entrepreneurs and speakers and pastors and leaders. And it's funny, I got diagnosed with kidney disease in September, and I decided, I created a page a few years ago called For Black Men, and I ran out of content like within a few weeks. And the goal was that For Black Men would be this page that highlighted Black men all over the world. And I kind of ran out of content. Well, once I got diagnosed, I utilized that page to kind of tell my story about Black men's health. And so it kind of gave me the boost to start blogging about For Black Men again. And so, yeah, so I haven't done any events for Black men in New Orleans. But this year in January, I started doing monthly Black men health events. So I kind of pivoted from the happy hour type of deal. But in January, I did like a 4K run for Black men. In February, we did Black men yoga. In March, uh, what did we do? I think I had a black chef come on and cook. We did Black Men Bike in April, and I'm gonna let the show know in September. I will be doing Black Men Box, and so my goal is to have Black Men boxing and have a therapist come on and talk about how to channel that anger and. Is that Jalen with Pivot? And how to channel that anger. So I have not confirmed those details, but that will definitely be happening in September. But so yeah, that's what I'm doing for Black men these days.
I love it. I need to connect you with the Demetrius Short. I've known him since I was a child, and he does Black Men Run in Nashville, and it's turned into a big thing. And he's an alum of Fisk University, and he has raised thousands and thousands of dollars in scholarships for students at HBCUs. So after this is over, remind me and I'll connect you with Demetrius Short.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think you two definitely have something that could take that to another level. So
I dig it.
Yeah, and
I wrote Black Men Juice. I did a Black Men Juice challenge too. We had Black Men Juicing for a week, and so yeah, it's been a different. Now this summer, I have fallen off. I don't think June and July I did anything. But that's expected because sometimes it's important to rest, you know. So yeah. But I'm gonna definitely get back on it next month. So
for sure. And if you have an event and you want more kind of a media blast, you're welcome to come on my show and talk about it here for promotion. I don't mind. Just tag me, hit me up or whatever. And
for sure.
Yeah, because I love promoting events for Black men. I think that's amazing. Yeah. So going into that space now with just Black Men Run, Black Men Juice, Black Men Cook, good Black men still exist. Like all these things, because one of the things you touched on, the sexualization of our people in the community and us taking back our bodies, literally taking back our narrative, literally. Because, we see the gray jogger challenge, we see Hoochie Daddy short. Yeah. And it's just like, we're more than that. We're more than just a body. We're more than just a shape or curve or print or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
We have such an amazing history as a people. So for you to do that and put that narrative out there, I think that is so important. And then even in the space of mental health, because one of the things I discuss here on the show is for generations, Black men have not had a space to openly share and talk about their feelings or emotions. And the times they have has been weaponized or used against them. So can you kind of touch on the importance it is, how important it is for Black men to have a safe space for communication?
Absolutely. And I'm not a crier at all, but I've heard so many stories lately of Black men being suicidal, killing themselves. I am 31 years old. Growing up, I have not heard so many stories, at least 3 times a fucking year, a Black man take their own life. Like it's beyond insane. One of the things I wanted to say while you were talking, I'm a graphic and web designer. I've designed for so many women conferences, prayer breakfasts, girl boss this, girl boss brunch, and I think one of the reasons I've been empowered to create this space is I've never been asked to do anything for Black men empowerment ever. There was one time I designed for an organization called Son of a Saint. It is an organization, nonprofit here in New Orleans for fatherless boys in the city of New Orleans. And that is for teenagers between the age of like 12 and 18. Outside of that, I designed for way more girl empowerment events, women empowerment events than Black men events. And so I thought it was important that I help shape this space. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's so important that we have this space where we can talk to one another, even as simple as showing each other love in the streets. I remember in my apartment downtown, this guy was on the elevator one day and he says, man, we bros, we could speak when we see each other. And it was comical, but it was like we're always in the elevator. Like, why wouldn't we say hello? We in the same building, you know. And so every time we see each other, we speak. So it's very intentional, even as something as simple as speaking to another black man, you know, when you see him, can go a long way, you know. I know for some people, my mom said, this is like a couple of months ago, she was at church and a girl gave her a hug at church. And she said, it was such a nice embrace. She said, I must have really needed that hug. And we don't know how those little bitty things can go a long way, you know, even encouraging people, because I'm going to encourage you when we get off this call, but we don't know how that can go such a long way by giving somebody an encouraging word or message or anything. Somebody could be on the brink of a breakthrough and all they need is that word from you. So it's important that you have that space and create that space.
Yeah, and I think too, it goes back to childhood for Black boys. You know, suck it up, boys don't cry. Or if you do express your emotions, you know, those derogatory terms attacking the orientation is thrown out there. And it has nothing to do with, like he fell, it hurt. It has nothing to do with him being soft or called a name. If you fall on above your knee and you're 3 years old, male or female, you're a child. You should let them cry and teaching them. If you're angry, be angry. Let's talk about it. Let's talk through this. If you're sad and you cry, lean into the tears. Because my grandmother used to always say there's more room out than in. You're either going to implode or explode. And we see that in society with Black men being frustrated, not condoning violence, but it can show up in domestic violence. It can show up in crime in the street. It can show up, or the opposite, in depression, suicidal ideations. And so you have to have a space for our young brothers to communicate. But then you push this Black man into a relationship, and then that person's like, man, they don't talk to me. They don't know how to, because their whole life they've been told, be quiet. You know, you want my body, but you don't want my words. You want my body, but you don't want my mind. You want my work, you want my hands, but you don't want like all of me. Like said, you know, you have to bring all of yourself into the room without apology. So I think it's very important that you're doing this, because it is giving a space for our brothers to talk, whether if it's something you're dealing with a relationship with God and your spiritual life, or your romantic life, or your financial life, or just you. You know, you need to have these spaces. Racism, you know, dealing with that. You know, we see George Floyd and all this other crap going on. Like, Black men need a space to talk about all of these things.
Yeah, I agree.
So what has been your response since doing these events, whether it's Black Men Juice, Black Men Run, Black Men Cook? Like, what type of feedback are you getting, Derin?
It's been positive. I think in the beginning, that the very first one that I did, nobody showed up. This was Black Men Run. Luckily, Black Men Run NOLA has their own group of guys that come out to run. I will say it was 20 degrees, or maybe less than that, which is very cool for us here in New Orleans. But the next month I did Black Men Yoga, and I might have had 7 guys like bought tickets. And then the day of, like 30, 40 guys showed up. And I was like, oh shit, I didn't think anybody was coming. And so I think I think Black men act last upon things, you know, so you just never know. Women, like I hosted a networking event in March, and a lot of women bought tickets like the day of. The bros bought the tickets the day of, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're a bit last minute when it comes to stuff like that, but it has been pretty positive. I've had people tune in when I've done lives and things of that nature, but it's new. I will say it's not a very popular thing, and I'm up for the challenge. So if it's slow, I'm okay with that, but I just can't quit. So, and I'm gonna keep it going. So.
No, you gotta press and continue. I remember, you know, early on doing the speaker podcast, you were one of my first guests, season 1, and I think I had like 2 followers. So sad, but I knew this was something I was meant to do. I wanted to do it, and I continue to press through it and persevere. I didn't know it would grow into this, you know, but you just never know how, even in that small group of 5, 10, 20, how it can save a life. I want to say a couple seasons ago, I did an episode with Alicia Jones. Hey, Alicia. And we had a whole discussion about suicide and having a mental health care plan for emergency purposes. And I did not really want to do it that night. I was just like, man, I'm doing this. I'm not getting the views I wanted. And I continue to press through. And so we did the episode or whatever. And that night, like a couple weeks before, I had more followers. But with anything, it's up and down. And this particular night, it was down. And so I was beating myself up, like, man, I didn't get a lot of views or shares this day. And it really, I was making it about me, even though this episode was about helping other people. But for some reason, this particular time, I was just like, oh my gosh, it didn't go viral. And so 2 days later, Alicia reached out to me. She was like, man, I'm so glad we did that episode about suicide and a care plan. And I was like, yeah, it was cool, whatever. She was like, no, because someone was watching and they reached out to me because that night they had planned to kill themselves. And by them seeing the live, they reached out and got help. And after that, it changed my entire attitude, because that's when God was like, this is not about you. I don't care if only 5 people watch tonight. You don't know how those 5 people could be getting blessed, or that one. And so what if I had been disobedient and decided, man, scrap this episode. I'm going to delete it and not put it out there. That could have gone through with it. And then unknowingly, it could have been on me because I didn't obey what God told me to do. And so you have to know, Derin, I'm telling you, I'm admonishing you to keep going, because your story is helping someone else, is blessing someone else. And, we say all the time that someone's life is depending on your obedience. So even if you feel like, man, only 7 people came, but you don't know out of those 7 brothers behind closed doors what they're going through. I see a lot of stories now, particularly more men talking about issues with paternity, custody, and they really should be in custody of their child, but the system is very maternal heavy or biased. And there are a lot of great, amazing fathers out there that should be in their child's life, or the mom is using the child as a pawn because she's mad because the relationship didn't work out, or he went on, or just got tired of her foolishness, and now it's just as a piece on the chessboard, and that's not right. So I'm telling you that whatever, if it's next month, Black men, I don't know, do pottery, whatever it is, like, do it, because it's so amazing just to have those activities, because it's not even about the activity, it's about the community, and the fact that you're putting
definitely about the community.
I think that is so dope. So
I appreciate it.
For sure. So where you are right now, you were talking about your office space, and that's every entrepreneur's dream. I see your name print on the wall. I'm living vicariously through you, by the way. So for now, you guys get all this living room space right here. Okay.
I love it. Recording. We got a little black and blush going on both screens.
Well, this is gray. These are shades of gray.
Gotcha. This is a charcoal, so this is a gray as well.
Yeah. Pollution on it. So, so going through that process of getting your space, getting the property, like, walk us through that, because that can be nerve-wracking and exciting all at the same time.
This space, Camille, is a blessing. I posted the other day online. What did I post? I don't want to mess it up, so I'm gonna go look it up. I posted the other day online. What'd you say?
I said I don't know, because I talk to you on Twitter all the time. So
I posted, it's not about what you can afford, it's about what you have the faith for. This space literally came, this opportunity presented itself to me. I had no intentions on getting an office space. A friend of mine was shifting to get a storefront, and he was leaving this space and asked me if I was interested in it. And then, of course, I told him, he said, I don't have to answer right now. And of course, after a while, I was like, sure, I'll take it. It was never on my radar when I started this year. We had the conversation back in March. In May, I got a credit card. I started buying furniture, and here we are. My goal was to do a launch during Essence Weekend, but I ended up launching the last week in July, and it's been great. It's been beautiful. It's hard to believe that I've been an entrepreneur for 11 years, that I've been doing my business out of my apartment. I've been shipping T-shirts out of my apartment all of this time, and so it's just nice to have my own. I have a beautiful view of the Mississippi River. I'm right across from Harrah's Casino, right above Saks. Like it's truly a blessing. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's about what you have the faith for. Because it was definitely not even on my radar this year, but I'm so grateful to have it.
But you know what? I think also too it comes with being consistent because you've shown up for 11 years despite Katrina. I think twice, and then
oh my God, that's what you meant by Katrina. Yeah, Katrina, Hurricane Ida, like it's the I'm over the hurricanes at this point. I ain't got no more left for me for the hurricanes. We're praying that we have a good season. We made it all the way to August, so we should be okay. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's about being, persevering, showing up despite, 2 hurricanes, major hurricanes, historical hurricanes, plus, physical complications, plus just the up and down of being a content creator on top of just life and period. And then here you are with a space because, as I say, this journey is not for the faint of heart. You're gonna get your feelings hurt. If you wear your heart on your sleeve, life.
And some people gonna piss you off, okay?
Yeah, it's just it takes you, and then you question like, am I meant to do this? Should I just go to Chuckalissa and find Uncle Clifford? Like, what should I be doing?
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
please don't go to Chuckalissa. Please don't.
I'm like, not ugly girl. Nah, I can't do it, but it's just like you have these, and I'm saying this jokingly for anybody, like, oh my God, Camille's gonna hop on the pole. No, I'm not. Okay. But it's just like you have these thoughts of other ways, like maybe I should go get a second job, should I Uber? Just because you're wanting to keep, it's like your child. You're gonna do anything if your child needs Jordans, or I don't need Jordans, but you know what I'm saying, shoes, clothing, shelter.
I get it.
Yeah, and this is your baby, and you don't want it to die because then it's like, I failed. And so we're doing you put all of it. I see so many of my other friends going to Tulum and all this crap, and I could do that too, but it's like, do I go to Tulum?
Is it responsible? Yeah. Is it wise? Yeah.
And then too, it's like I want to show God, like I do want the bigger blessing, but I need to be faithful with the little so he can give me.
For sure.
So I totally understand. But for you to have this gorgeous space with this amazing view now, but people just see the space, but they don't see, what happened in season 2 or season 3 or season 4, living the life of Derin, if it was a Netflix series,
Right.
Like here you are now. And so now you have this space to help other people build their dreams. Because we're all about Black wealth and legacy, and now you have a space to take that to the next level. So as far as everything now, what is next on the horizon now that you have the keys? You have your name on the wall.
Yeah. What's next? Say it again.
And I said, and you have your event coming up in September.
Yes. What's next on the horizon? You touched a little bit about it just now. People don't get to see the ups and the downs. We pretty much post all of our highlights for the most part. And I try to do a healthy balance of the both. What's next for me? Honestly, Jalen's been using this word all the time, pivot. I've been in this space, Camille, because I'm going to keep it solid. I ain't no lying entrepreneur. I am a real authentic entrepreneur.
Yes.
Sometimes I got it. Sometimes I don't. I've been in this space. How can I make 7 figures? How many branding boxes do I need to sell? How many retainers do I need to? And for the most part, I would still have to do a lot of work to make this vast salary. And so I had a conversation with my barber on this past Saturday because I had to be nice for the speaker podcast. And he said you should reach out to the New Orleans Business Commerce. So I'm giving you my to-do list for the week. New Orleans Business Commerce is is an organization for businesses in the city of New Orleans, mainly white businesses. But there are the businesses that have the dollars that I can get larger retainer contracts and just really upping my pay. So it's not about working harder. It's really about expanding my network so that I'm getting these clients that do have the dollars to pay me top dollar. My next goal on the horizon is getting a mentor. I heard Kurt Franklin say yesterday that he was spending some time with his mentor in the Iceland. Then I heard my virtual pastor, Michael Todd, said he was talking to his mentor. And I'm like, in order for me to get to the next level, I should probably develop a mentor in some way. So there's this guy. I'll say his name. I'll throw it out there. Joshua Dingle, who I've admired for years. Talented event creator, amazing designer. But I want to segue from design into events and like large conferences and things of that nature to where I'm only doing 2 or 3 conferences a year, and that's really taking care of me. So I don't have to slave on a laptop. So those are my goals. That's what I have planned. That's my strategy, and that's what I'm focusing on right now. So
I absolutely love it. And you're like I'm thinking about how can I do things that will not require my presence. So Friday, I like Uncle Clifford, I did the reopening of my boutique, on Etsy and switched it to now it's a digital space for mock-ups and a mock-up model because I
saw that. That was so dope. Did you send that out as an e-blast or did you tweet it?
I just opened it Friday. So I did put it on Twitter, but I am gonna do like an email blast.
Yeah, that's so dope. That's so dope for you. Like, yeah, we're gonna chat after this because that's so dope for you. Yeah.
Because I realized with me having my own shirts, when I was looking for mock-ups, it's hard to find mock-ups that are have representation. And why am I paying somebody when I was like, girl, you do this anyway. Why not you do it? And so
that's amazing. That's so dope that you thought to do that.
Yeah. And then instead of, paying, somebody to be a mock-up model, I'll be the mock-up model. So I market myself as a mock-up model. And I put out my first couples. I even have a bundle special. I'm gonna do more. But get Minked. It's the Mink mock-up store, a Mink by Sierra Etsy. Just as a digital space, you get it. I don't have to touch it. You buy it, download it, whatever. But you have a dope shirt. You can buy my face and throw your logo on it. And I'm like, that's easy because it doesn't require my presence. It doesn't require me to be there, and it's such a no-brainer. And I love putting looks together anyway. So I was like, I launched my virtual boutique on Etsy on Friday.
Love that. That's amazing. That's so smart. I love it. Yeah.
So with that being said, I do want to do a little thing here as top 5. So I want to know, Derin, my little graphic there. Who are your top 5 entrepreneurs or content creators, or just your top 5 people in general, and why those are your top 5 people?
All right, we're going to go with Joshua Dingle. Joshua Dingle is out of Atlanta. He may have relocated to Houston. I just think he's an amazing designer, does great events. He has an event in Atlanta called Fields ATL. Just amazing designer, great artist. I think he's dope. Number 2 would be my best friend, Jalen LeGrand. Jalen LeGrand is just turned 30 years old. He's super smart, a go-getter. I want to believe he's not his aunt, but I want to believe he's like the first business owner in his family, first millionaire, and he's just a hard worker. It's not easy to do what we do, and it's just great to be connected to somebody and call them friend. Number 3, I will go with locally. We have a guy named Larry Morrow. He's the same age as I am. He's an entrepreneur, restaurant owner, just really dope. I had this wrote down. Now I have to think of 2 more. two more. Let's go with Michael Ty, my virtual pastor, Michael Ty. Michael Ty's like 35. He's a regular guy who happened to have got this church falling in his lap. He was serving as a youth minister and became pastor of this church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and pretty much taking the church to the next level. So it's just dope to be connected by these dope ass black men. And let's go with another black man. I'm gonna go with. Um, I'm gonna go with who I'm gonna go with. Any black man that's out here that's grinding, that's working, that's hustling. Shout out to y'all. It's not easy being us. So many odds are against us, and still every day you wake up and you get to it and you make shit happen. So shout out to black men. Yes.
I was gonna say you should have put yourself on the list for surviving 2 hurricanes. Child.
Right.
The first one
I'm gonna go. Yeah.
So with that being said, before we wrap things up, I always ask all of my guests, like, any takeaways and where people can reach you on social media. So like any gems or nuggets that you would like to leave for the people because I do want to bring you back for sure. So
for sure. I actually wrote a note to share here. Where was it? All right, I'll just go off the top of my head. A nugget that I can share. Bet on yourself. Invest in yourself, spend money on yourself for your education. Take the risk, take the leap of faith, jump, do it, quit the job. But make sure the work ethic is there. If you ain't a boss then stay at that job as long as you can. But if you believe in yourself and you're a hard ass worker and you know how to go get it and grind, quit the job. Do it today. Do it in the morning. Write your 2-week notice and get to it. Believe in yourself. I told my friend Anita in an interview back in September, I don't develop a plan B. A plan B means I have doubt in my plan A. So if you have a plan A, that means you believe God. If you believe God, believe him all the way. I still believe God that my kidneys will be restored, whenever that day happens. But I did not develop a plan B. Yes. Thank you for that. And if you trust God, bet on yourself. And you can find me at DerinLindsey.com. I have an ebook out. This month, I am running a $15.75 special, which means my branding boxes are on sale from $19.99 to $15.75. My logos are on sale from $250 to $157.50. My ebook is on sale from $31 to $15.75. All of that information is available at DerinLindsey.com. You can follow me in my health journey at For Black Men, FOR Black Men. And everything else I do, you can find on my website.
It's the inspiration for me, period. Like I absolutely love you. I'm super excited for you. I'm so proud of you. The space is beautiful. I'm loving the wall, but all the things.
Thank you.
I love it. First of all, your energy. You guys, what you see right here in person, it's a whole vibe in person.
I appreciate you.
Like the room, so genuine, just really, really cool people. So if you ever have the honor and the privilege of meeting the Derin, get that money, Lindsey.
Hey. Hey, I receive it. It's gonna happen. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wrote down, Camille. I'm glad you said that. It's all in your words. It's all in your words, your speech, and then your actions. A lot of times we can't get to what God has for us because we doubt it. With our mouths, we can't even receive the blessing because we didn't already cursed it by saying we can't have it. So when people say I'm rich, I receive it. And then I say it until I believe it. And so sometimes I say it when I don't even believe it, and then I say it again until I do believe it. So I am rich, I am wealthy, I am blessed. I remember Whitney used to say, what did she say? Black. What does Whitney say? Black and wealthy or something. Some kind of saying
Black,
Whitney has when
black
you talk.
wealthy and highly favored, something like that.
Yeah,
Black, blessed,
yeah.
and highly favored.
Black, blessed, and highly favored. Yeah, so it's you got to speak those things. I believe I have what I have now because I believed it, I spoke it, and now I have it.
Yeah,
So that's just where I'm at with it. Yeah,
I think
if
it
you
ties.
stand in the need for anything, yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
speak
That's what
it.
it ties into knowing your worth and your value, and knowing that you deserve it or that you're worthy of it. Because sometimes, particularly with some of us out of the Black community, we come through, diversity, harsh, adverse backgrounds, and so those
Hmm.
situation environments or even people will tell you, "Oh, you're just like your daddy," or you hear all this stuff, and it plants these seeds. It's like a bad tape recorder, and so you have to pull out that bad tape and replace it with good things. And it's a process
Hmm.
because you've been hearing this crap your whole life, and so now
Yeah.
when God begins to show you things or show you dreams and it's going against what you've been seeing your whole life, there's a conflict going on because you're like, oh, I
Hmm.
want this, but my family, my situation, my environment, my past says this. And so
Yeah.
like the scripture says, to be not conformed to this world, be ye transformed by the renewing of your
None
mind.
of your mind. Yes.
Or it's just like the secular world, but your world is in here as well. If it's a
Hmm.
world of low self-esteem, a world of depression, a world of doubt, a world of when you came out of abuse, or a world of not feeling that you're enough. And then now you
Yeah.
have to switch it and transform, with the help of God and saying, no, God says that I'm this. God says that I'm that. I am worthy. I do love myself. I'm not my past. I'm not what I did, and
Hmm.
putting those things in. And once you do that, when you put on the armor of God, then you'll begin to see a shift. But it also applies to taking some people out of your life as well. And it can
Yeah.
be blood family, people you've known your whole life, because what's the saying? If you want to know what your future looks like, if there's 5 people and you're number 6, and so it's like, no,
Yeah.
changing your circles. What books are you reading? What do you watch on TV? I get it. You want
Yeah.
watch something goofy, but at the end of the day, are you watching
What are you
um,
feeding yourself? What are you feeding your mind? Yeah.
so if you're just constantly looking at social media and crap or whatever, again, there is a time for that when you just want to check out and just whatever. But what are you feeding your soul and your spirit every day? That's what matters,
Hmm.
because those things is what will set the tone for your day. When you wake up, do you immediately reach for your phone and see how many posts you got? Or are you listening to a sermon? Are you listening to a positive
Yeah.
podcast? Or conversations
Hmm.
like this? Are you encouraging somebody and texting somebody or sending a tweet? Hey, just want to see how you're doing, and doing these things every day consciously. Even the foods you're
Yeah.
putting in your body, you're eating fried fish and going to Chick-fil-A every day. God knows I
Yeah.
love Chick-fil-A, but hey, maybe a bowl of fruit, eat a salad. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I had Asian chicken salad and fruit, and making a smoothie. I dished my coffee. My
Hmm.
body was like, girl, but I was like, no, we're gonna get this water today. So it's
Yeah.
lifestyle shift, not just in
Hmm.
your words, but your thoughts, your food, all of it. So yeah,
Yeah. I dig it.
I'm gonna get off my little box now. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I hope everyone got something from this episode. If you missed it, well, that's why we have social media. You can go right now, subscribe to my YouTube channel, catch the replay, and follow me on Instagram at Camille.Essick. Stay tuned. We're going to have some great things coming up in September, and October will be Heart and Soul. Some amazing things are coming in that lane. And be sure to shop with me online at Chemistry Room Fragrances and use that coupon code GBM15. That way you can save 15% at the checkout. And I think we covered everything, right?
I believe so.
I think so too. So with that being said, everybody, I hope you got something from this episode and have a great day. And we're
Thank
going to
you.
chat right after this, Derin. So hang around, and everybody have a good night. Bye-bye.